Well, welcome back. And if you haven't already discovered, I like the show Star Wars Rebels. I like it mostly, I think, if I were to figure out exactly why, it's because I think it's the closest situationally to what I think Star Wars, the original trilogies, were. Both comedy and adventure, and I mean all the way around. So I like the show because it's an animated version of what I could picture Luke, Leia, and Han back in the day, Chewie, R2, C3PO, all of them going through. So this is now I'm going to call it an A-wing, but I guess there is a different name for it. And don't ask me what it is because I don't remember. And I definitely could look it up. I'm a nerd like that, so I probably will look it up now and probably edit this video. But it is, I believe, a Ralph McQuarrie, closer to the Ralph McQuarrie original design of what an A-wing should be. The problem with these awesome little toys was this big honking Nerf gun that was under the bottom of them. So what I did was, I'm going to look ahead of time to see which is which, is I took that gun and I cut it out. So there you can see it's cut out. And it was cut out with, believe it or not, this. I apologize why it's out of focus. Let's see if we can get it to focus here. But it's cut out with just an old-fashioned razor knife, and I just kept scoring it and scoring it and scoring it until I got very close to all the way through. Back here, it's really thick. And then I took my Dremel tool, which is just down here on the floor, kind of right there, and with a cutting wheel, and just followed my lines as close as I could. And then cut it off and then ground that flat. And I did that because my first attempt, I did it a little bit different. And I kind of like this way, the idea of this way better. My lines are straighter. It'll be easier to build in the piece. And if you look right there, it's a piece of cardboard or template paper. Let me put my paper back here. It's a Rebels A-wing insert, and it's just a piece of, literally, it's the size of what that is. So when I cut it out and I put it on the inside, it will form fit to the inside of there. And then I will gussy it up, make it pretty. And how do I do? Oh, yeah. I will review that and let you tell you what happened there in just a second. But when you put that piece of paper in there, all you got is a flat panel. So you have to kind of build it up with stuff. And then you have to make the decision. Do you want your A-wing to have, I don't know why it will not focus. Do you want your A-wing to have landing skids down or up? So I decided to do landing skids up. So it does not have its landing gear down. This is what I built. I think you'd be hard pressed to know that was not that way. I mean, you could when you look close. It's one of those 10-foot rule. If you're standing 10 foot away, it looks really cool. You get right up close, you see all my little mistakes. But it was just pieces of paneling and greebles and just different things I had around to kind of make it look like it's, I don't know, maybe a little bomb compartment and stuff. I put what looked like landing pads, but retracted up. The landing gear retracted up, the feet of them there. I did not do one up front. Well, I guess I did. It's right in here. So that would be the third landing gear, and I think I envisioned it coming forward, but it's just an idea. I don't have the screws in. This one came apart using this knife. Just scoring that line. Okay, it's wanting to see the stuff in the background. Repetitively until the seal came apart. But this one, as you can see, it kind of cracked. Is it a big deal? No, it's not a big deal at all. I'm not too worried about it. Like I say, it's going to be on the underside of the model. and it's still going to look like a toy. And I guess it could be played with like a toy. But mostly I'm building it as a static model. This is just milliput. I didn't even know such a thing existed until I started watching some of the YouTube videos, and it's really super easy. It reminds me of Bondo, except for it's more of a putty. Comes in 2 sticks. You take off about the volume you need from both, meaning combined volume. You mix them up together real well. And I don't know how long it takes to fully cure, but it gives you plenty of time to play with it. And if your fingers are a little bit wet, which your fingers are going to come out looking white, but if your fingers are a little bit wet, you can mold it better. So I used some metal spatulas, little ones, tiny little, modeler spatulas, and my fingers and stuff to make this round. It's just not painted yet, and fill in that kind of hole. So this is how to de-nerf and how to make into a full-on model the A-wing from Hera's A-wing from Star Wars Rebels. I am them also going to, and I plan on honestly getting 2 more, and I will de-nerf them as well, and I will have there's about 7 different paint schemes in the show, and I plan on having 1 for each. And I may even do the 1 modification because if you look closely, one of them is actually a trainer. So it has a double cockpit, and this canopy goes all the way back to the rear back here. And I'll probably just build that up and paint in some what look like glass lines. I don't know, I could probably cut them out and put in some glass lines or some clear plexiglass, but nothing, no figure will fit back there. Well, I guess it could fit back there if I build one, but I didn't want to go that in detail. But I'll have about 4 of these that'll each have their different colors. And I thank you again for watching, and like and subscribe. And sorry about the mumbling, but we'll get used to this.